Hey guys, coming at you today with a basic keto dessert recipe that you can use in many different ways and alter in many different ways. A keto peanut butter mousse recipe. So let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, thanks for joining me. My name's Alicia and I'm a sous chef with a sweet tooth. And here we make delicious pastries, many from my time as a pastry chef. And my goal is to make the best keto desserts possible. So if you enjoy these recipes, please consider hitting the subscribe button and the thumbs up, leaving me a comment. It all helps my channel grow and to bring you new keto desserts every Saturday. Today, a super simple recipe because it is going to be an insane work week for me this week. I'm hoping to get this out on time on Saturday and to not miss any Saturday uploads. So I'm bringing you a super simple recipe, but there are so many variations and different things you can do with it. So to start this keto peanut butter mousse recipe, I just have 8 ounces of softened cream cheese here. There's not many ingredients in this, but you can change them up however you'd like. So I'm using peanut butter today, but you can use almond butter, sunflower butter, anything you want in this recipe. You might have to change the sweetness level a little bit. This is the peanut butter I'm using. It's Crazy Richard's. It's literally just peanuts. So I'm adding salt into this recipe to counterbalance the sweetness because there's no salt in this peanut butter. But it's only 2 grams of carbs for 2 tablespoons. So that's what I'm using. I found this at Walmart and it's pretty cheap. This is one of the only times you'll see me use my hand mixer. This is a super fast recipe. It comes together really quick. And with all the ingredients I used, the whole batch is 31 grams of net carbs. But obviously, if you change up the nut butters, it's going to change your carb count on this. So we're going to start with whipping our 8 ounces of cream cheese with a powdered sweetener. You can use whatever powdered sweetener you like. If you have a granular and you don't have a powdered, you can put it in your coffee grinder or a really high-powered blender and blend it up to a powder. I'm using 30 grams here, which is technically a 1/4 cup. And the sweetness level is completely up to you in this. But when doing some kind of mousse that you're not cooking at all or you're not baking, you always want to use a powdered or a liquid stevia to sweeten. We're just going to whip this until it's light and fluffy. That was only speed 1 and 2. That's crazy. Just stop to scrape down a couple times. Like you see, it shot powdered sweetener all up on the bowl. And mine wasn't super soft, so if your cream cheese isn't super soft, you're gonna have to beat it for a little bit longer. If it's really nice and soft, it'll whip up way faster. Okay, I'm gonna say that's good. It's nice and creamy and smooth. Now you're gonna add in your peanut butter, a little bit of vanilla extract, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of peanut butter. Try to stir your peanut butter as well as you can. Try and get equal amounts of the oil in your peanut butter and the solids. Definitely don't get any with sugar or hydrogenated oils in there. Want a nice natural peanut butter. I'll give this a whip. As you can see, it got really thick. A little scrape down off the bottom. One more mix. Now, depending on how thick your peanut butter or nut butter you're using is, you're gonna add some milk to thin this out. I have 4 ounces of unsweetened almond milk here. I'm gonna add a little bit at a time and get it to the point where I'll be able to fold some whipped cream into it. It'll be thin enough. We'll start with half. Well, it's still pretty thick. Add a little bit more. Okay, that looks good. Now I have some heavy cream in my refrigerator still. You want to whip cream when it's still as cold as possible. You don't want it warmed up at all. There's one more mix. Add some cream cheese. So set that aside. Get as much off your beaters as you can. I'm going to change to my immersion blender and my whisk because that whips up heavy cream super fast. But you can just use your beaters still. So I have 1 cup of heavy cream here, chilled. I'm gonna add a couple drops of vanilla stevia to it and just beat it until it's at stiff peaks. Oh, I'm not plugged in. I thought I was. Hey, let's try that again. go. Super fast. Okay, now we are going to fold the whipped cream into the peanut butter. I'm going to start with half of it. I'm actually going to get my bigger spatula here because it's easier to fold with a bigger spatula. Now, all the different things you can do with this. I mean, I topped my brownies from last week with a layer of peanut butter mousse. Oh my God, it was delicious. So that's one way you can use this. Another way is my coconut flour crust. I'll link it up there. It's in my pumpkin pie cheesecake video. You can use that. You can blind bake the crust and then let it cool and fill it with this mousse. You have peanut butter mousse pie. You can just use it for a dip for strawberries or blueberries or blackberries, or for some keto cookies, or you can just eat it as it is. You can also use this as a layer in a keto cake too. Definitely layer it with the mousse in the middle and then refrigerate it, and this will get nice and solid. So if you fold it like this is keeping more air in your whipped cream, so you'll get an airier mousse. If you don't like beat it with your spatula, you just cut in and fold up. Cut in and fold up. And that's it. I'm gonna put it into a piping bag to pipe it into some decorative glasses, but you can just scoop it into any little portion cups you want and portion it out. You could easily get 8 to 10 portions out of this mousse. I got 4 wine glasses here. I'm not even sure if they're actually matching wine glasses. And I got 4 little portion bowls here that I'm gonna pipe into. But you can just fill this up with mousse and crumble in some keto chocolate cake in between the layers, and you'd have a nice little chocolate peanut butter parfait. We're gonna fill a piping bag with our peanut butter mousse. You don't want to take too long because you don't want this to be too warm. It will like get all melty on you. So I'm just gonna pipe this in here. Refill the bag. 4 little guys. Well, these guys are a little less than these guys, so you could definitely get a bunch of portions out of this. If you do 8 portions, 8 equal portions, each portion will be 3.8 grams of net carbs. Still got mousse. You got mousse up here, use your fingers and squeeze it down. Like that. I need another bowl. I got 1 more of these guys. And if you can't get the rest out of your tip, you can fill up the bag a little bit with air, and that'll push down your mousse. So I got 9 portions, but this one is probably double the amount in those guys. So these are gonna chill in the refrigerator for a little while, and then we're gonna decorate them, because of course I gotta be a little bit extra and add some toppings on these. Okay, so our peanut butter mousse has been chilling in the fridge for a while, and while that was chilling, I didn't even think about it. I just went and made this recipe without even like really referring to my pastry book. And I thought about it, I'm like, is this technically a mousse? There is a no-bake cheesecake mousse in my pastry book. So technically, but there's still gelatin in it. It all depends on your proportions of ingredients. And I guess technically this is a mousse, but it is a cheat way. So let's get to decorating these guys. Now there are many options. I am going to chop up some peanuts. You do not want to use too many because they are a little bit high in carbs, which is why your mousse is a little bit high in carbs. It'd be way less if you used like an almond butter or something like that. I don't need a lot. I just need a little bit. I'm just going to chop them up a tiny bit. Yeah, it's good. And I was debating on what kind of chocolate element I wanted to add to the top of this. And it'd be very easy just to use one of your keto chocolate syrups if you have one of those on hand. The only one I have is Locanto, and I am not a fan because it's very liquidy. I heard Chalk Zero is like a thicker chocolate syrup if you have that on hand to drizzle on top. You can also just dust with cocoa powder. So I think that is the route I'm gonna go for this because it's just the simplest and easiest. You can also shave a little bit of chocolate if you have a keto chocolate bar. We're gonna start with our 4 ones and wine glasses. So I just got a little tiny sifter here. Let's put some in, a little tappy tap. And you don't have to add anything to this. It's delicious just on its own, but I want to make it look fancy. A little bit of your chopped peanuts on top. Gives it a little crunch. Or you could crush up some keto cookies on top, which I do have chocolate peanut butter high key cookies. That sounds like a good idea. But I'm going to restrain. I'm not going to do it. And get out our little ones and do the same. Just a little cocoa powder. A little bit of nuts on top. Just enough. It's time to try one. When it sets, it is a lot thicker and stiffer. But it looks delicious. I'll try. Just melts in your mouth. Peanuts are a nice addition because it gives you a little crunch, like I said. So crunchy cookies on this, or just dipping some cookies in it. You even do like a little less than this. Portion it out in like little 1 ounce cups or something for like 2 tablespoons of dip to like dip your cookies in. It would give you a lot of portions though. You might want to cut the recipe in half. Super easy to throw together. Creamy, sweet, delicious. It's the perfect easy treat to whip up, and you can have it for your whole week meal prep if you want. It is delicious. I'm sorry I don't have a in-depth, complicated recipe this week, but it is a delicious peanut butter mousse recipe. Let me know in the comments below if you try it out for yourself and how everybody enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out my Amazon links and the blog link to the full recipe in the description box below. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and as always, I'll be back with many more keto dessert recipes. Bye guys!